Ian Begley yesterday reported that the Sixers and their high-ranking officials, who the high-ranking officials are, I would love to know. That always interests me, Kev, when like people are going out for like sources and like wanting to report on things. Like I made a joke about this. Is like Josh Harris's grandmother and Ian Begley's grandmother going to Temple together, and they're just over
what's
here.
High ranking and what's high ranking and what's not? Is the chef a high ranking member? I mean, he's really important because he's vital to the nutrition of the team. Who's high ranking and who's low ranking and middling ranking too.
I mean, there could be like a high ranking guy next to like Daryl, but maybe he's not in Daryl's like inner circle or the Sixers inner circle. So like this is always interesting, but we'll run with it. Kevin Durant reportedly would be open to joining the Sixers. Frank Isola also said he is interested in reuniting with James Harden. Obviously, people saw last weekend they were both in London at a Travis Scott concert, powing around. People now don't want to trade Tyrese Maxey. I understand people love Tyrese Maxey. He's an awesome guy, like the guy you want to root for. But guess what? If you're not trading Tyrese Maxey for a top 15 player of all time, you deserve to be in the process forever. Whoever wants to take
there's nothing that I hate more than the like NBA Twitter discussion of a hypothetical trades and stuff like that. Just because people are so like vehemently take one side or the other. Like somebody puts a trade machine thing up there and like, there's no way that this team would do that, you know? And then it's like, you know, somebody suggests Tyrese Maxey and Kevin Durant. Oh, you'd have to be the dumbest person in the world to trade Tyrese Maxey. It's like, holy shit. Hold up a sec. Let's just slow down for a second. Tyrese Maxey, fantastic player. Year 2, great improvements, fan favorite, very easy to cheer for. It's Kevin Durant.
That should be the argument right there. And the funny thing is, he's going to
have to make that argument.
Is he going to be extended this year or next year? He will probably be making Tyrese Maxey close to Kevin Durant money with the whole
he's going to get paid.
NBA salary cap.
You know what my favorite
deal? Yeah.
As a quick A side too, you know what my favorite underrated storyline is here? Tyrese Maxey is a Clutch client, right? So when Ben Simmons was blocking him from playing time, when they got him moved last year, that increased Tyrese's profile, set himself up for a big payday. Who benefits from that the most? Clutch is going to get paid when Tyrese gets paid. So it ends up working out, you know, for them. But listen, it's like, I think the counter arguments that people were trying to make about a Maxey Durant hypothetical here was, what about the window? Match up the window, right? It's like, well, you've only got, what do we say, 2-3 years with Embiid, maybe? Well, you got 1 to 3 years with Harden, right? Kevin Durant's 33. What's his championship window look like? 1 to 3, 2 to 3, something like that. So people are saying, well, if you don't win it, you know, at least you got Tyrese on the back end to build with. Okay, well, guess what, man? If you don't win it with the next couple of years, you're rebuilding regardless. You're rebuilding regardless. You got Tyrese at age 25 or not. You know, so you're the all in or you're not. You know, you get closer to winning the title with Kevin Durant on your team this year than you do Tyrese Maxey. Like, so to me, it's either like you can't be straddling the line, man. You can't like give yourself insurance on the back end because you're gonna want a tank coming out of that anyway and rebuild. You're not gonna do a half-ass Flyers kind of thing, you know. So Tyrese, love him. Easiest guy to cheer for on the planet. 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. Oh God. Okay. Well, 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000.
Yeah, NBA trade discussions are the worst.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate it.
They are.
Because that right there, like even discussing that, then you ruin the entire reason why the Sixers want to trade for Kevin Durant. Like because Kevin Durant wants to play with James Harden and Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not even in discussion right now that you would trade that.
And Joel Embiid would never go to the Nets.
And
I don't know if he's
never go
to trade calls because he doesn't want to go back and play with Ben Simmons. But the only thing I will concede on the Tyrese Maxey, Kevin Durant argument, will Kevin Durant ever be happy wherever he goes? Can he play? And this is such a boomer argument, but can he play for Philadelphia? And that actually does worry me. Like, are we talking a year?
People are using that because people on Facebook were saying like, well, how long until Durant gets pissed off and requests out? Well, I mean, you're only like this is the game you play with these superstars, man. Like the best players in the NBA, they all do this stuff, you know? So it's like you're if you want to win, you got to take risks. You know, and like, you know, maybe he wants out after a year and a half, but that year and a half gave you a better chance to win than it would have otherwise. So like, this is the game you're playing in the NBA 2022, you know?
Yeah. And the Sixers can't really, I think, afford to just kind of stick with Tyrese Maxey and to keep building a team because they have already gone all in on this. They don't have the resources to do that. They don't have draft picks coming up. You know, they can't just draft more players, rebuild, and then, you know, stock up their team like Boston does or like Phoenix does. They have to go all in and getting stars. They have to be the Lakers, you know, because the Lakers were in that same boat, and now they're just kind of all in with LeBron James and have to make it work in any way. That's where the Sixers are. So yeah, a player like Tyrese Maxey, it's great to have, and that's a valuable asset. But with where the Sixers are now, it's an expendable one that you probably have to use to get somebody like Kevin Durant.